Chapter 121 Bloody Battle in the Valley. The Hojo forces pushed deep into Mount Awame's misty valley, greeted by the roar of waterfalls and the stench of blood. At the shallows lay the demon hound, bloodied but unyielding, surrounded by specter wolves. Dijon split his troops, sending men to search for some mysterious treasure, while he led the charge against the demon hound. His massive jintachi gleamed as he roared for glory and Kanto. The clash was apocalyptic. Demon Hound's blood-red energy against the blue spirit power of two sword saints. Their strikes sent water flying, sparks bursting, like storms colliding in human form. Archers rained arrows that barely scratched the beast. Spectre wolves surged to protect their leader, tearing into samurai lines. Matsuda's smaller group fought desperately, Nagahide even worrying about Lily mid-battle. As fire imps stormed in, the battlefield turned into pure mayhem, fireballs and arrows trading across the cliffs until swordmasters cut them down. Still, the demon hound's cries grew weaker, its body shredded by relentless strikes. Dijon, fueled by immense spirit power, only grew fiercer, embodying the Hojo clan's brutal strength. Meanwhile, Lily fought on the margins, subtly lending power to her allies while plotting her escape. She knew once the demon hound fell, her window to slip away would vanish. Watching its bloodied figure brace for a final desperate attack, she prepared herself, because that suicidal last stand might be her one chance. Chapter 122 Treasure, the demon hound, cornered and bleeding, unleashes a terrifying last rampage. Its bloodshot eyes blaze with hatred, knocking back even elites like Munasaki and forcing Dijon on the defensive. Even with his giant size and brutal strength, Dijon knows a few clean hits could finish him. Still, rage drives him into direct combat, Munasaki rejoining as blood and steel clash in a brutal three-way. The ground itself seems to shake under the ferocity. Meanwhile, Sakata and Matsuhei discover a hidden treasure behind the waterfall. Samurai carefully haul a metal box across the suspension bridge, but the demon hound instantly senses the theft and lunges to stop it. Dijon and Munasaki barely hold the beast back, shouting for the treasure-bearers to hurry. The chaos intensifies as specter wolves abandon all else to attack the treasure carriers. In the melee, the box crashes open, revealing a strange black-silver block radiating an azure glow. It's Tamahagen, the legendary steel. Lily's heart pounds. As a blade maiden, she feels the steel's aura pulling at her very soul. Her allies are still locked with the wolves, but a sudden wave of obsession overtakes her. This feels like hers. She releases her crimson spirit power, hair flying as she dashes like a storm toward the samurai. In one clean strike, she sweeps their legs out with the blunt side of Seiwa Tamashi, sending them flying. Without hesitation, she seizes the 50-kilogram Tamahagen, stuffs it against her chest, and bolts toward the suspension bridge, abandoning all pretense. Chapter 123 Run! Lily dashes onto the suspension bridge, crimson spirit power blazing. Dijon, mid-battle with the demon hound, finally realizes the truth. She's a blade maiden, the very killer of Motoshige and Akira. His fury boils over as Lily severs the bridge and escapes into the forest. Nagahide, Kimura, and Kanzaki are left stunned, unable to reconcile this ruthless thief with the woman they admired. Meanwhile, the dying demon hound refuses to give up. It hurls itself across the valley, claws clinging desperately until it pulls its bloody body over. Dijon seethes, raging over his dead brother, his vassal Akira, the stolen treasure, and now the escaped demon. His wrath redirects at Nagahide before he commands a full pursuit. Split groups to chase Lily and finish the beast. In the forest, Lily runs at top speed, clothes shredded, spirit armor shielding her skin. But the demon hound, bleeding and battered, fixates on her, chasing her with relentless speed. She panics, torn between dropping the Tamahagen or keeping it. Spectre wolves slow her down, and the demon hound's hot breath closes in. Desperation drives her to throw herself off a cliff, rolling violently down 1,000 feet into a valley of bones. Dizzy but alive, she clutches the Tamahagen like her life depends on it. But safety is an illusion. Blood drips onto her skin. She turns to find the demon hound looming right behind, scarred face, blood-red eyes, fangs glinting. Trapped between a cliff and the beast, Lily steels herself to fight. Then, in a shocking twist, the demon hound speaks. "I advise you not to swing that sword. Otherwise, I will really bite you to death." Chapter 124. Mirror Girl, cornered in the moonlit valley, Lily braced for death as the blood-soaked demon hound staggered toward her. But instead of finishing her off, it revealed it never intended to kill her. It could smell the old mirror she carried. The beast, bleeding out, confessed its past. Once raised by Fujiwara Ayaka, the famed onmyoji, before exile turned it into a fugitive hunted across the land. Even near death, it longed to return to its master's side. It then dropped another bomb. Lily was a mirror girl, a fate marked by hardship and danger. The hound had seen Ayaka rescue such girls before, and sparing Lily now was its way of honoring that memory. Coughing blood, the hound demanded Lily kill it so its anima wouldn't fall into Hojo's hands. Instead, it wanted her to forge a cursed katana with its soul and use it to one day strike down Hojo Dijon. Though she knew Dijon's strength was far beyond her, Lily promised sincerely. The demon hound, comforted, declared that her path as a mirror girl would shake the entire East Nation, though it also warned that her fate might be far crueler than Hojo's threat. Finally, with its last breath, the hound murmured that no mirror girl ever lived long enough to grow strong, praying Lily might defy that fate. Its voice faded, leaving Lily alone in the moonlight with a vow that could alter her destiny forever. Chapter 125. One hit kill under the pale moon, the demon hound shattered its own fang, gifting Lily the means to forge a sharper blade. Then it lowered its head, asking her to end its life with honor. Though reluctant, Lily whispered that she'd tell Fujiwara Ayaka of its loyalty if fate allowed. Hearing this, a single tear slid from the hound's eye. Lily's aura surged, her blade glowing red as she struck a flawless blow that cleaved its neck clean. Later, Yagyu Munasaki and his men arrived, stunned to see the demon hound's corpse, its anima already taken, its neck sliced mirror-smooth into the rock. Meanwhile, Lily pressed on with the hound's anima and fang, wisely taking a hidden trail back toward Saruga instead of the obvious route. Her sharp sense of direction, a remnant of her male consciousness, gave her the edge to avoid Dijon's men. Her relief grew when she reached the single-log bridge marked on her map, until Matsuda Nagahide appeared, blocking the path. Dijon had predicted her craftiness, sending Nagahide to cut off this very route. But instead of destroying the bridge, Nagahide stood waiting, intent on confronting the woman he once trusted, Miss Kagami. Chapter 126. Nagahide's chivalry. Lily finds her path blocked by Matsuda Nagahide, her first sword instructor, the only man who never exploited her and selflessly taught her. She can't bring herself to fight him, even though he could never withstand her strength. His eyes, filled with sentiment, cut deeper than any blade. Nagahide demands to know if she killed Motoshige and Akira. Lily admits it plainly, then explains how she was cornered, deceived, and forced into survival. Her words sting because they're both truthful and self-justifying. Nagahide argues that samurai must die with honor, while Lily insists her conscience is clear. She killed men who had already abandoned chivalry and endangered her sister. Her determination is rooted not in self-preservation, but in her vow to revive her senior sister. Moved, Nagahide wavers. He senses her burden is beyond what he imagined. Finally, instead of fighting, he lets her go, commanding her to run before Dijon arrives. Lily, with a pained glance back, vanishes into the fog. But Nagahide isn't done. He orders his vassals, Kimura and Kanzaki, to destroy the bridge, even though Lily already crossed. His men realize he's not just letting her escape, but actively blocking Dijon, a treasonous act. Still, they obey with tears in their eyes. When Dijon arrives, furious, Nagahide calmly admits he let Lily pass and even ordered the bridge destroyed. He takes full responsibility, reminding Dijon of Motoshige and Akira's corrupt deeds. Then, in one last act of chivalry, he unsheathes his wakizashi and performs seppuku before everyone. As Nagahide's body falls lifeless, his vassals cry out in anguish. Even Dijon is shaken by the gravity of his death. Nagahide's chivalry becomes both his downfall and his eternal honor. Highly presents the Tamahagane. Ihiro is floored. The block shines with azure luster and is impossibly heavy. She caresses, sniffs, and even licks it in excitement, declaring it a grade 5 lazulite, a legendary material. Ihiro reveals her forging skill has just broken through to level 5, meaning she's now capable of handling such rare metal. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Lily's luck is uncanny. Ihiro promises to forge the ultimate cursed katana, refusing money and only asking Lily to cover material costs. But when Ihiro mentions the sword inscription, Lily freezes. Coming from the modern world, she has no idea how to inscribe a blade, despite her determination. The triumphant high suddenly dips into uncertainty. Chapter 128. Ukiyo-e, Painting. Lily is stunned when Ihiro realizes she doesn't know how to inscribe spiritual sword scripts. Embarrassed, Lily admits her weakness, but Ihiro explains that true sword inscriptions require drawing concept, a fusion of art and spirit. Lily, remembering her past as a lonely boy who used to sketch dream girls, insists she can draw. Ihiro advises Lily to study under Hishikawa Moronobu, the greatest ukiyo-e master in Suruga, whose art naturally carries drawing concept. Though dizzy and exhausted, Lily agrees. Ihiro fusses over her, half concerned and half teasing, even sneaking a little touch while helping her stand. Lily quickly declines the rest at my place invitation. Lily then shows Ihiro the demon hound's fang. Ihiro gets excited, explaining it could enhance the blade's sharpness and durability if forged with Tamahagane. Lily's heart aches, remembering the demon hound's loyalty even in death and the looming threat of Hojo Dijon. She knows she's too weak to face him now, but silently vows not to break her promise. After leaving her materials with Ihiro, Lily returns to Sayonji residence, weary but safe. Kotoka worries she ran into trouble. Nanako sulks for being left out, though her concern shows through. Lily can barely stay awake, collapsing into sleep after a bath. The next morning, refreshed and elegant in a butterfly-embroidered kimono, she prepares to visit the master artist. Kotoka warns Moronobu is reclusive, even refusing lords, but suggests Nanako accompany her to smooth things over. Guided by Nanako, they reach the master's home, an unkempt but artistic garden leading to a hall filled with stunning ukiyo-e paintings that leave Lily awestruck. But a sudden cry inside alarms them, and they rush to the studio. What they find is unexpected. An old man is meticulously painting on the bare back of a young girl lying on a slanted wooden box. Lily nearly screams, thinking it's indecent, but then realizes this is ukiyo-e in its rawest form, living art on skin. The old man doesn't even acknowledge them at first, finishing his brushstroke before casually asking if Lily is here to be his model or canvas. Lily instantly flips, going from awe to outrage. What art? This guy's just a pervy old man. Chapter 129. The condition of drawing concept. Moronobu circles Lily like a hawk, clearly unimpressed. When Nanako defends her, he scoffs. What's the point of a woman learning both sword and art? He brushes them off to his tea house, leaving Lily uneasy but determined. Lily bows deeply, confessing she wants to learn painting to master sword inscriptions through drawing concept. Moronobu questions her motives, but her words carry such conviction that even he falters for a moment. Then comes the blow. Moronobu insists a woman can never grasp his art. To him, true drawing concept requires painting on a young woman's bare back, an experience tied to a man's perspective of devotion and shame. Lily and Nanako flush in shock, both baffled and offended. He suggests Lily go to a female grandmaster instead, but also admits that even if she were a man, ordinary models wouldn't be enough. Only women connected to swords could embody the concept. The explanation leaves both girls stunned, unsure how to respond. Yet Lily doesn't back down. Bowing again, she declares she still wishes to learn, vowing never to disgrace his art. Her humility and resolve momentarily soften even Moronobu. Finally, Moronobu agrees, for the sake of the Saionji house, but demands 200 kon up front, warning she'll regret wasting her money when she fails. Lily accepts without hesitation, though he refuses to call her his disciple, not wanting to be mocked for teaching a big-titted girl. Nanako looks on, deeply worried Lily's effort and money might be in vain. Chapter 130. Lily learns painting in Moronobu's debt. Lily quickly absorbs Moronobu's lessons in Ukiyo-e, thanks to her past drawing skill and the natural grace of her new body. Nanako teases her on the way back, hinting that Lily will eventually need to practice on the bare back of a female samurai to grasp the true drawing concept. Lily is left flustered and worried. Where would she even find someone willing to do something so bold? The next day, Lily goes alone to Moronobu's house, dressed neatly in a blue kimono. But outside, she finds a group of rough hoodlums and a well-dressed youth barging in. They're loan collectors sent by the Imakawa clan's third son, demanding repayment. The terrified apprentice explains that Moronobu borrowed money to redeem Miss Isuzu, but with business failing, the debt spiraled out of control. Inside, chaos erupts. The thugs smash jars, toss paintings, and even seize Isuzu. Moronobu, frail but proud, throws himself in their way, shouting that his bond with Isuzu is only for art. His protests fall on deaf ears. The Imakawa youth sneers, mocking his poverty and threatening to drag Isuzu back to the brothel. Isuzu's cries echo as the thugs drag her away, Moronobu's trembling hands reaching helplessly toward her. His bloodshot eyes and cracked voice show the weight of his failure. Just when the scene seems unbearably bleak, a tall figure appears at the doorway. Lily, calm and radiant, even against the light. The hoodlums pause, stunned by her elegance, demanding to know who she is. Lily meets their gaze with icy calm and simply asks them to release the girl. Chapter 131. Moronobu and Isuzu. A gang of thugs mocks Lily, thinking her beauty makes her weak. One brute dares to touch her face. Lily instantly snatches his own katana and slams the scabbard straight into his crotch. He collapses, wheezing in pain. The others rage at the humiliation of being beaten by a woman, drawing blades against her. But Lily stays calm, reading their movements. With blinding speed, she paralyzes 3 men in just a few blows of her scabbard. Then comes Imagawa Ujichika, arrogant son of a powerful family, swinging wildly at her. Lily disarms him effortlessly, knocking his blade away and striking his chin. He stumbles back into the wreckage, defeated. Humiliated, Imagawa demands her name. Lily answers coldly, Kagami Lily. Her authority stuns everyone. She makes it clear he must leave Moronobu alone. Though he threatens her, he retreats with his broken crew. Isuzu, the rescued girl, reveals her tragic past. Sold into slavery, saved by Moronobu at the cost of heavy debt. Lily pays her tuition up front, not to erase the usury, but to honor her part fairly. Moronobu, ashamed of doubting Lily before, vows to teach her all his artistry. He praises her beauty, power, and kindness, though still tied by his era's sexism, saying she can't fully grasp his ukiyo-e style as a woman. Lily calmly counters, women's perspectives shape unique artistry too, just as she reshaped swordsmanship. Meanwhile, far away in Kai province, Uesugi-rei encounters a fearsome armored samurai, Itagaki Nobuyoshi of the Takeda clan. He blocks her path, his presence radiating raw power. Rei smirks, but tension crackles in the air. Chapter 132. Records of Sword Sprite. 3 days later, at dusk, Lily impressed Moronobu with her surprising painting foundation, even teaching him perspective drawing that felt revolutionary in Kanto. He rewarded her with the Record of Sword Sprite, a rare text on forging sentient inscriptions. Moronobu admitted doubt that a woman could fully grasp his school's artistic concept, but still encouraged Lily. He also revealed he'd cleared his debts with Lily's help and secured protection through Lord Kamakura, allowing him and Isuzu to focus on art. Isuzu's quiet happiness at his side made Lily reflect on how blessed he was. Lily took her leave, receiving his rare care for her safety. Outside, she politely nodded to Isuzu before heading off. The scene shifted to Suruga, where the wounded Ujichika whimpered under bandages. His father, Imagawa Yoshitada, stormed in, outraged that a female samurai had beaten his son. Upon hearing Lily's name, he immediately dispatched men to investigate. Meanwhile, Hojo Dijon and his forces trudged out of Mount Awam, dragging the demon hound's corpse, but furious over devastating losses, nearly 30% of their samurai dead. Survivors confirmed Lily's slaughter of his brother and Master Akira. Dijon exploded in rage, swearing to kill her even in Suruga. Yet Yagyu Munasaki reminded him, direct conflict with the Imagawa risked offending the mighty Ashikaga clan. Dijon begrudgingly agreed to first negotiate with Yoshitada, though he still ordered guards at Suruga's exits and vowed to seize Lily on sight. Chapter 133. Nanako's Decision. Under the moonlit courtyard, Nanako reflected on her own changes since being kidnapped. Her pride dimmed into gentleness. Yet she still fumed at Lily's persistence with painting, frustrated that the woman ignored her master's warnings. Unable to rest, Nanako wandered barefoot through the corridors and drifted toward Lily's room. Inside, Lily sat surrounded by papers, trapped in a bottleneck. She questioned her talent, her future as a blade maiden, and even her right to ask others for help. Torn between her duty and her limits, Lily finally broke down, sobbing for her senior sister and revealing just how heavy her burden was. Outside the door, Nanako overheard everything, her heart softening as she glimpsed Lily's tears. She realized the woman she mocked was carrying deep grief and devotion. Lily eventually calmed herself, vowing not to be stopped by this setback. But then, a soft knock, a note slipped under the door. Come to the hut in the west courtyard at midnight. No name, but the familiar handwriting hinted it was from a girl. Lily, still confused and wary, held the paper under the dim light, wondering what awaited her. Chapter 134. Spring in winter, late at night, Lily wanders through the Sionji household, sorrow pressing on her as she longs for clues about Rina. She enters a dim wooden house and finds a masked girl, Nanako in disguise, claiming she's just a wandering samurai hired to help with Ukiyo-e practice. Lily is confused but plays along. Nanako nervously blindfolds herself, drops her yukata to reveal her back, and begs Lily to paint on her skin. The trembling in her voice betrays both fear and determination. Lily realizes the paint is nearly permanent. It's not just practice, it's a vow. Lily gently ties Nanako's hands and feet, turning her into a living canvas. Though it looks scandalous, Lily sees not a body, but a pure surface for art. With trembling but focused strokes, she begins painting, her emotions pouring into each line. As the brush moves, Lily realizes the drawing concept, art as the direct expression of one's feelings. Just like sword runes carry intent in battle, every tremor of Nanako's body becomes part of the artistic conception. Finally, drenched in sweat, Lily finishes. On Nanako's back blooms a plum blossom in winter, with a golden green-blue canary perched on the branch. Imperfect in technique, but unmatched in emotion. Their shared dedication immortalized in color. Chapter 135. Sword-making and forging Tamahagan. In the misty dawn of Suruga, Lily heads to Master Ehiro's smithy after her breakthrough with Nanako. She thanks Nanako in her heart, realizing the drawing concept led her to understand sword inscriptions. Carrying the record of Sword Sprite, she walks toward the sound of relentless hammering. Meanwhile, Hojo Dijon storms into Suruga, cursing Lily for humiliating him and plotting revenge. Though he passes near the smithy, he doesn't notice her inside. Inside, Lily admires Ehiro, whose sweaty, sun-kissed skin and tireless forging embody the beauty of labor. Ehiro explains that only a fire made from rare fifth-grade charcoal and black gold coal can refine tamahagan. Lily offers to pay and agrees to help as her apprentice. Ehiro insists Lily change into forging clothes, a simple open-collared shirt and a female loincloth. Lily protests in embarrassment, but eventually concedes, realizing practicality matters more than shame. When she emerges, Ehiro is struck by her hard-working beauty, praising her natural charm. With a heavy hammer in hand, Lily approaches the iron platform. Ehiro moves behind her, guiding her arms and placing a hand at her waist to correct her stance, whispering instructions close to her ear. Lily, flustered yet determined, feels both the heat of the forge and the nearness of her master. Chapter 136: Core Steel and Spring Steel. The forge burns hot as Lily and Master Ehiro hammer tamahagan together, sweat dripping and muscles straining. For Lily, each strike feels like more than smithing. It's like giving birth to something alive. They work in unison, folding and hammering the steel thousands of times until two pieces emerge, one destined as spring steel for the outer layer, the other as core steel for the inner soul of the sword. The intensity between them grows, Ehiro pressing close behind Lily, guiding her hands, their bodies nearly touching. At last, the two steels are fused, forming the blade's heart and skin. Exhausted, Lily feels soft when Ehiro praises her, though she insists it's all thanks to her master's guidance. The sword's body begins to take shape, curving naturally as it cools. Ehiro warns the final stage, quenching, is the most dangerous, where countless smiths fail. But Lily trusts both her master and the blade, certain it will be reborn from the flames. As Ehiro prepares the special clay, she entrusts Lily with the sacred task of drawing the sword's inscription, her own artistic spirit etched into steel. Lily knows this is where her identity as Blade Maiden truly shines, blending martial skill with poetry and art. But just as she steadies herself, she glances down at her forge clothes and realizes they're too crude for something so refined. With a solemn voice, she asks to change before beginning. Chapter 137: Drawing Sword Script. Lily changes into a red kimono, deliberately leaving it open and sensual, not out of vanity, but because she embraces her identity as Blade Maiden, charm and all. She steels herself with thoughts of Nanako's sacrifice and her vow to reach Rinne in Heian-kyo. With her brush ready, Lily studies the cooling blade, feeling its arc shift as though it were breathing. She realizes this isn't just steel, it's a living presence, like Nanako herself. The moment strikes. Lily dips the brush into sacred mud and moves like lightning, leaping, twisting, her kimono tearing as she paints runes in one flowing breath. Exhaustion nearly knocks her out, but the inscription glows, flawless and infused with her obsession. Ehiro, shocked by the depth in Lily's script, takes the sword for quenching. Normally a dangerous step, but with this tamahagane and their combined skill, the stakes are higher, perfection or mediocrity. Yet something stranger happens. The sword trembles, alive, almost calling to them. They move as one, sensing the right moment. Ehiro plunges the sword into water after a perfect pause. Steam explodes, the tank boils, and runes blaze upward in a pillar that breaks through the roof into the night sky. Chapter 138: Crescent Moon. The steam clears, leaving the roof torn open to the dawn sky. Moonlight and sunlight spill together over the quenched blade, creating a surreal reflection of night and day. The sword glows like it's drinking in both heavens. Ehiro pulls the blade from the water, droplets sparkling like crystals. Its arc mirrors the curve of the moon, elegant and deadly, She calls it her proudest work and urges Lily to name it. Lily, touched to her core, whispers, "Crescent moon." She connects its dual essence to her own life, sun and moon, male and female soul, her bond with Rin. It's more than a weapon, it's her companion on the journey. After final polishing, scabbard, and handlecrafting, the masterpiece is complete. Every detail, from peony engravings to the star-like diamonds in the grip, feels tailored to Lily's spirit. She holds it and nearly cries from the weight of effort, sacrifice, and memory it carries. At Ihiro's urging, Lily unsheathes the sword. A petal drifts into the room and splits cleanly on the blade's edge. Effortless perfection. Then, as she infuses it with her blade maiden spirit power, scarlet energy ignites the scripts, wrapping the blade in deadly ethereal beauty. "This is my first cursed katana," Lily declares with joy. The Crescent Moon. Chapter 139. Weirdo Outside. Tsuruga, a bizarre figure, appears. Tall, fiery red hair, kabuki-style makeup, outrageous clothes, and a trident spear. He looks like a stage actor who wandered off mid-performance, yet the weapons at his side mark him as dangerous. This eccentric man curses Dijon for taking the demon hound kill, which was supposed to be the Taira clan's target. Determined to find him, he questions a local youth about Dijon's whereabouts. When the innocent teen calls him samurai uncle and guesses his age at 30 or 40, the stranger practically combusts, screaming that he's only 16. His meltdown is so dramatic, it's almost surreal. Meanwhile, Dijon and his warriors march through town, plotting to storm the Saionji household where Lily is hiding. He mocks their Fujiwara ties, confident that the clan can't protect her in Kanto. But just as Dijon prepares his move, the kabuki-like warrior blocks the road with spear in hand, unflinching before Dijon's massive frame and army. He demands answers, why Dijon killed the demon hound without him. Chapter 140. Integrating the demon hound's anima. Lily bows tearfully to Master Ihiro, overwhelmed with gratitude for the new cursed katana. Ihiro brushes it off, but teasingly asks Lily to visit more often, in that revealing forging outfit. Ihiro then reminds Lily to integrate the demon hound's anima. Lily releases the golden soul, brimming with eldritch power, and channels it into the blade. The surge nearly overwhelms her, but the katana absorbs the essence, glowing with terrifying strength. When the light fades, the crescent blade is reborn, a top 5th-grade weapon infused with a superior demon's anima. Even Ihiro is stunned. Lily thanks her again, and Ihiro, smiling, casually asks if she'd like to sleep in the back room or return to Saionji. Walking through Tsuruga's streets, Lily feels healthier than ever, her spirit uplifted after days of forging. She dreams of surpassing even the mighty sword saints, no matter how impossible it seems. But just as she reaches the quiet Saionji household, a thunderous voice crashes down behind her. Hojo Dijon appears, a towering force with 2 swords and a squad of fierce samurai at his back, radiating tyrannical power. Chapter 141. Encounter. Lily is in danger. The sky turned gray as Lily stood frozen outside the Saionji gates, only to find herself ambushed. Soldiers from both sides blocked her path, and Imagawa's injured noble identified her, sealing her fate. Lily realized Hojo Dijon had colluded with the Imagawas, and her heart sank. Dijon mocked her with venom, accusing her of murder and theft, while his allies tightened the net. Lily assessed the field. Powerful enemies everywhere, including Dijon, Yagyu Munasaki, and an unknown warrior whose aura rivaled Dijon's. When she tried appealing to him, he revealed himself as Taira Hachiro, another top prodigy siding against her. Despair deepened. Munasaki demanded her surrender, sneering that fighting a woman would be beneath them. Lily knew she'd rather die than be captured. Imagawa proudly handed her over, and Dijon ordered his men to tie her up. As samurai advanced, Lily gripped her crescent blade, ready to unleash one desperate strike even if it cost her life. Just then, the gates of the Saionji household burst open. Cannons roared, blasting craters into the ground as Saionji Kotoka, Nanako, and their retainers stormed out in yellow armor and Dutch weapons. Kotoka, fierce without her glasses, leveled her gun at Lily's enemies and declared, no one would harm her guest under Saionji protection. Chapter 142, Imminent Peril, Part 1. Imminent danger breaks out when more than a dozen iron cannons are trained at the Hojo and Imagawa samurai, immediately sowing fear, especially among warriors who've never seen firearms in battle. The chapter opens on the tangible terror these new weapons bring and frames the conflict as not just personal, but technological. Imagawa accuses Kagami Lily of murder and theft. Hojo Dijon and other nobles echo that condemnation, while Nagasaki brandishes the traditional swordly outrage. The political theater is loud. Honor, accusation, and public humiliation are on full display, until Nanako steps forward and delivers a clear eyewitness defense. Lily saved her and killed only in self-defense. Kotoka, of the Saionji household, backs Nanako and declares Lily under Saionji protection. The moment becomes tense as loyalties clash and Fukushima wavers, torn between families and reputation. Imagawa Yoshitada then arrives and orders Lily handed to the Hojo, forcing a near-hopeless situation for the Saionji. When Dijon orders the arrest, Kotoka fires a Grade 2 firearm to stop Nagasaki, shocking everyone and buying time as Saionji family members form a united front around Lily. The stand is both symbolic and practical, a woman protecting another woman against entrenched patriarchal power, using the very technology that initially caused fear. Despite Kotoka's protection and declarations referencing the Saionji plaque and Fujiwara prestige, Taira Hachiro and Imagawa Yoshitada press the Hojo to seize Lily. Dijon ultimately commands Nagasaki to catch or kill her. The chapter ends with the situation deteriorating into an outright order to attack, leaving Lily and the Saionji surrounded, and the reader expecting immediate violence. Chapter 143, Imminent Peril, Part 2. The skies turn bleak as Hojo samurai storm Lily and the Saionji. Kotoka shows no hesitation. She orders her men to open fire. Some Hojo fall, but the elite swordmasters dodge effortlessly, closing in with terrifying speed. The Saionji foot soldiers are cut down mercilessly, their reloads too slow to save them. In the chaos, Nagasaki and Sakata charge Lily. She warns Kotoka and Nanako to fall back, then faces them herself. Sakata's katana narrowly misses Lily, but when she counters, something strange happens. Her strike seems to pass like a phantom. In that instant, Nagasaki seizes the chance, attacking from behind. But Lily flips her blade with blinding speed. The crescent moon slices Nagasaki's katana in half, then severs his entire arm. Before she can breathe, Sakata is struck down, his body neatly cleaved in two, collapsing with eyes wide in fury. The battlefield freezes. Even Lily herself is shocked at how effortlessly Crescent Moon tore through Grade 3 steel. But Hojo won't relent. 4 more swordmasters leap at Lily from every angle. Dijon shouts too late. In a desperate gamble, Lily unleashes a horizontal slash, a move almost suicidal against so many foes. Yet Crescent Moon howls for blood, and all 4 katana shatter like bamboo stalks. In the same instant, each swordsman is carved down with identical chest wounds, blood raining like mist. 6 swordmasters lie dead or ruined, shocking every onlooker. Hojo, Taira, Imagawa alike. Lily, the criminal, just did what even the demon hound couldn't. Dijon, humiliated and enraged, unleashes his full spirit power, no longer caring about interrogation. His roar shakes Suruga itself as he vows to kill Lily with one strike. Chapter 144, Imminent Peril, Part 3. Hojo Dijon towers over the battlefield like a blue-armored wall, charging with earth-shaking force. Kotoka panics, firing her blunderbuss, but Dijon swats the bullet back with his massive tachi. Lily barely intercepts it, saving Kotoka, but the impact leaves her arm numb and bleeding. The giant closes in, fury shaking the air itself. His first strike splits the ground, sending soldiers, and even Yoshitada's litter flying. Lily blocks with Crescent Moon, but the shockwave tears her kimono to shreds and hurls her into a tree, nearly breaking her body. The Saionji rush to shield her, but Dijon's swordwind blasts them away. Lily, ragged and trembling, knows she has almost no spirit power left, yet she still clutches her blade, glaring with unbroken defiance. Dijon advances, calm and cruel, his killing intent sharper than any beast. Lily despairs at her own weakness, yet her thoughts turn to her senior sister, still trapped in darkness, waiting. That memory fuels her desperate crawl, dragging her broken body toward the Saionji gate. Even Dijon pauses, startled by her sheer willpower, before sneering and raising his sword to finish her. Just as the blade descends, thunderous hooves roar through the air. A black steed, Neo, charges at supersonic speed, slamming into the battlefield and shielding Lily like a wall of steel. Chapter 145. War goddess of the land of snow, a thunder of hooves announces a colossal black steed and its rider, Wasugi Rei, who halts Dijon's strike and forces him back. Rei dismounts, scoops up Lily, and channels the blessing of the goddess of war, instantly restoring Lily's depleted spirit. Lily's relief is visceral. She's safe, alive, rescued by the same woman she once met on her first night in this world. As Rei checks Lily's pulse and body, the scene becomes physically intimate. Close breath, warm weight, and a protective embrace that sends confusing heat through Lily. Lily's gratitude clashes with inner resolve. She wants to melt into the safety of Rei's arms, but steels herself. Her quest and loyalty to her senior sister are non-negotiable. The narration leans into sensory detail, soft breaths, the scent after exertion, to make Lily's temptation tangible. Then Rei's hand slides lower, lingering on Lily's butt, and Lily flushes with embarrassment and anger, torn between enjoying the contact and resisting being conquered. She silently decides, physical comfort won't derail her mission. Only her senior sister can break her final line of resolve. Dijon, meanwhile, accuses Lily again and demands she be handed over, framing Rei's interference as a challenge to Hojo authority. The chapter closes on this tense standoff, salvation complicated by erotic charge and political threat. Would you like a short character focus blurb next, e.g., Rei's motives, Lily's internal rules, or a compact timeline of who showed up and their power ranks for easy reference? Chapter 146. Reasonable, Wasugi, Rei Wasugi. Rei stood tall with Lily in her arms, surrounded by Imagawa soldiers and Hojo's forces. When Lily tried to explain about Motoshige and Akira, Rei silenced her by pressing a finger to her lips, too forcefully, leaving Lily blushing and speechless. Then, in front of everyone, Rei declared she didn't care about right or wrong. If Hojo's brother and Akira died, so what? The crowd was stunned. Even worse, Rei boldly claimed that since Lily liked the Demon Hound's treasures, they were rightfully hers. Outrage boiled over, and Yagyu Munasaki yelled about the Hojo family's sacrifices. But when he insulted Lily, Rei instantly snapped, threatening to destroy the Yagyu clan for a single slur. Then came the most shocking move. Rei tilted Lily's chin and kissed her, proclaiming, "I like Sister Lily." Everyone froze. Dijon, incredulous, tried to reason with her as a fellow Six Swords of the East, but Rei mocked the title, calling it nonsense, and pulled Lily toward her horse. Enraged, Dijon unleashed his spirit power and struck with his massive blade. Lily cried out in fear, but Rei, without even turning, drew her sword one-handed and parried. The ground cracked under her, yet she stood unmoved, even shielding Lily from the shockwave. With a cold smile, she forced Dijon back in a single swing. As Dijon powered up again, Rei pushed Lily onto Neo the horse, commanding it to protect her. Neo obeyed, flinging Lily onto its back and fending off attackers with brutal kicks, smashing one samurai into a tree. Terrified, the soldiers recoiled while Dijon, consumed with fury, prepared his strongest assault against Rei. Chapter 147, Virtual Projection. Hojo Dijon clashed violently with Wasugi-Rei, his massive blue-lit tachi meeting her precise counterattacks. Rei's movements were steady, unyielding. Then she seized an opening, crushing the ground beneath her and kicking the towering warrior back several steps. Rei's blade then bloomed with purple soul patterns, summoning ice crystals and detonating shockwaves that blew Imagawa soldiers off their feet. Hojo fell to one knee, forced back dozens of meters. Even Imagawa Yoshitada could only gape in awe, calling her a monster. Yet Hojo pressed on, joined suddenly by Yagyu Munasaki, whose twin blades slashed at Rei from the side. Lily, wounded and riding Neo, cried out in fear. But Rei parried them both, her calm composure intact. In one swift move, she shattered Yagyu's assault and kicked him so hard he spat blood. When Hojo lunged again, Rei's counterkick hurled him into the sky, just as Taira Hachiro entered with his fiery trident, betraying all notions of samurai honor. Now 3 sword saints surrounded Rei. Lily tried to rush in, but Neo dragged her back, hilariously exposing her thigh and leaving her blushing furiously. The battlefield erupted. 3 sword saints rained steel and spirit power on Rei, their combined strength shaking the ground and toppling Imagawa Yoshitada's litter, knocking out his teeth. But Rei's spirit power surged, white core with a bluish-purple glow, her tachi flickering with crystalline ice. Despite the odds, she held her ground. Then the air grew colder, snowflakes drifting out of season. Lily's eyes widened. Behind Rei, a faint blue figure appeared like a spectral projection. Chapter 148, Rage. A haze blanketed the sky, snow-like stars drifting as Wasugi-Rei's virtual projection radiated blue flame and oppressive power. Within its misty radius, Hojo, Hachiro, and Yagyu felt their strength suppressed, while Rei only grew faster and deadlier. She extinguished Hachiro's fiery spear, bounced Hojo's massive blade as if striking an iceberg, then trapped Yagyu's twin swords underfoot before kicking him straight into a wall. The crowd was left breathless. Rei stood like an ice queen, silver hair floating, purple eyes blazing with wild confidence. When Hachiro unleashed his clan's ultimate spear art, Rei calmly split its momentum, forcing the weapon to rebound and smash into his own jaw. Blood sprayed, his pride shattered. She then redirected the flaming spear into Hojo, sending him sprawling with his clothes burning. Kotoka whispered in awe, calling it a domain, a higher level of intent beyond ordinary mastery. No wonder Rei held off 3 sword saints at once. Even Imagawa mocked Hojo, declaring the 6 swords title undeserved. Humiliated, Hachiro backed out entirely, admitting Rei deserved the first spot. But tension reignited when Nagasaki, still bitter after losing an arm, grabbed a firearm and fired at Lily. Rei panicked, yet Lily calmly drew her crescent moon, slicing the bullet mid-air. A crimson wave followed, splitting Nagasaki clean from forehead to chest. Furious yet powerless, Hojo Dijon swallowed his rage, vowing revenge before retreating with his defeated men. The battlefield quieted. Lily, drained, collapsed, only to be caught in Rei's arms. She carried her princess style, making Lily flush with embarrassment, while Nanako watched with conflicted eyes. Chapter 149. Back to Takeshita. Wasugi-Rei swept Lily away on horseback, ignoring Kotoka's orders and the shocked Sayonji family. Lily lay flustered across the saddle, unable to even look back, while Rei declared she was taking her back as Lady Sakiko wished. Nanako watched them disappear into the distance, torn between relief and jealousy. Safe under Rei's protection, Lily should be fine. But Nanako couldn't shake off the sting of that kiss she had witnessed. Her joy at Lily's rescue mixed with tears of bitterness. Meanwhile, at Mount Awam, Hojo Dijon completely lost it. He raged at the sky, furious that Lily's cursed katana, forged with Tamahagane and the demon hound's anima, had chipped his own blade. Worse, she'd slain 6 sword masters, the backbone of the Hojo clan. Dijon realized she wasn't just a nuisance anymore, but a terrifying rising threat. Dijon's rage turned into desperation as he admitted Uesugi-rei's overwhelming power humiliated him, Yagyu, and even Taira Hachiro. Their reputations as the Six Swords of the East were in tatters. Soaked in rain, Dijon vowed revenge, but trembled at how his father would react to this disastrous loss. Back at the Saionji estate, Ashikaga Kiyoshi arrived with Shu and cavalry, finding only the bloody aftermath. Calm and courteous, Ashikaga reassured Kotoka he wouldn't trouble her family further, and promised to report to Lord Imagawa. Shu collected Lily's belongings, clothes and intimate items Kotoka discreetly handed over. Nanako, eager to follow, begged to go to Lily, but was sternly stopped by Kotoka. As heir of Saionji, she had duties she couldn't abandon, no matter how much she longed to chase after her sister. Chapter 150. Raining at Mat Tama amid rain and storm, Uesugi-rei carried Lily on Neo's back. The horse thundered through the muddy path, forcing Lily to cling to Rei's neck, her face pressing against Rei's chest with every jolt. Despite the cold rain, Lily felt warmth and security at Rei's side. Lily knew relying too much on Rei would make her weak, but just for tonight, she allowed herself to rest. Rei, however, proved hilariously hopeless with directions, choosing uphill instead of downhill despite Lily's guidance. When Lily suggested letting Neo navigate, Rei refused and slapped Lily's backside, declaring that everything, horse or person, must be under her control. Lily blushed, powerless against Rei's overbearing will. As the rain softened, Lily whispered thanks for being saved. Rei leaned close, pressed against Lily's back, and suddenly asked her to be her woman. Lily froze in shock. The bluntness rattled Lily. Girlfriend would have been one thing, but be my woman implied something deeper, more possessive, demanding everything. Rei's warm breath at her ear made the question harder to resist, but Lily firmly said no. Deep down, Lily knew her heart belonged only to her senior sister. She didn't want to hurt Rei, sensing that beneath her confident exterior was a fragile loneliness, yet she could not give her what she wanted. Chapter 151. Stroll in the Forest, Uesugi. Rei presses her feelings onto Lily, calling her beautiful and lamenting that she seems undeserving of anyone. Lily fumbles, unable to properly reject her, blurting that she doesn't like men. Rei points out that both of them are abnormal, and resting her chin on Lily's shoulder suggests they've already strayed from the norm. Lily suddenly realizes how much courage it took for Rei to openly confess her love, while she herself brushed it off without care. When Lily tries to tactfully push Rei away, her phrasing comes out all wrong, sounding more like flirtation than rejection. Uesugi seizes the chance, kissing her cheek and then her lips in a fierce, possessive way. Afterward, the two continue riding through the mountains, Lily weak and panting, emotionally shaken. She scolds herself for being too kind, unable to stop Rei, yet unable to hate her either. Rei then asks bluntly if Lily now wants to be her woman. Lily, forcing composure, answers firmly that she only feels ashamed and begs Rei to act with dignity. Unexpectedly, Rei lets her go, leaving Lily oddly disappointed despite herself. Chapter 152. Tea Ceremony Under the Millennium Cherry Blossom Tree. Lily returns to Takeshita Town with Uesugi-rei, emotions swirling between gratitude, confusion, and something she can't quite name. When Uesugi asks Lily to call her Big Sis, Lily refuses, clinging to the title she reserves only for her beloved senior sister, Rini. Uesugi's tenderness, stroking Lily's hair, breathing in her scent, creates a bittersweet farewell. She warns Lily they'll part ways again, leaving Lily conflicted. Why does her heart ache if she's not in love? The tension snaps when Uesugi kisses her. Lily resists, but only weakly, her flushed face betraying confusion more than rejection. Then Uesugi rides away, vanishing like a storm, leaving Lily trembling beneath the wisteria. Back at the Genji dojo, Lily finds herself alone. With her friends absent, she turns to the Millennium Cherry Blossom Tree for comfort. She performs a solitary tea ceremony using the aubergine teacup she had once meant to pawn. Under drifting petals and the fading light, her loneliness becomes art, bittersweet yet serene. As she sips the warm tea, Lily touches the hidden mirror near her belly, reflecting her face, a reminder of intimacy just shared, yet deepening her solitude. But then, under the storm of falling blossoms, she feels herself merging with the world. In that moment of enlightenment, she realizes her true intent. Sakura. Chapter 153, Re-entering the Mirror Space. Cherry blossoms and snow swirl together until Lily finds herself engulfed in a boundless white world. Drawn deeper, she falls and lands in an icy octagonal chamber. The mirror space has returned. Before the mirror, Lily sees her soul's form, still male, but increasingly feminine, with softer features and longer hair. Even his gestures radiate feminine charm, confusing him further. Thinking of her senior sister, Lily rushes to the adjoining room. She finds her still slumbering, fragile and distant. Though their hands can't truly touch, their souls brush against each other, letting Lily feel the faint warmth of her sister's spirit. Experimenting with spirit power, Lily realizes she's stronger now than last time. Yet, despite trying to awaken her sister, nothing works. The warmth she feels from her isn't her own energy, but something vast and sun-like. Following intuition, Lily explores the newly unlocked room. Inside is a mysterious chamber decorated like a woman's boudoir. Tatami, candles, and an ornate dressing table. Sliding open another door, she finds feathered kimonos unlike anything in the Heian Empire. Barely their fabrics, jeweled clasps, and ethereal elegance. Lily marvels at their beauty, wondering whose they are and what secrets this strange mirror space still hides. Chapter 154. Gorgeous lipstick, laden with grief, Lily stumbled into a room filled with elegant, alluring clothes and jewelry, his heart racing with both curiosity and shame. The star and moon-shaped jewelry was simple yet enchanting, pulling him in despite his insistence that he was still a boy. When he found a platinum tube of cherry lipstick, curiosity overcame him. He applied it before realizing what he'd done. Startled, he threw it away like it was cursed, horrified by his own impulse. Opening another sliding door only revealed lingerie and bras of various sizes, some impossibly cute and clearly meant for women. Overwhelmed, Lily fled the room, questioning why he felt such excitement over things he believed a man shouldn't. Shaken, Lily returned to Rinny's bedside. Kneeling, he poured out his progress, his hopes, and his guilt, especially over what happened with Wasugi-Rei. He begged silently for forgiveness, knowing he could never betray his senior sister's place in his heart. Lily rested against Rina's yukata, confessing his confusion, but vowing not to let it derail his training or his mission. Even if he must give up everything, including his own identity, he would do so to save her from the darkness. As he prepared to leave, Lily realized in dismay that he didn't even know how he had entered, or how to get out of, the mirror space. Chapter 155, My Makeup and Night Walk in Japan. Lily meditated in the mirror space, realizing she could comprehend the Genji sword style at lightning speed. Concepts that once felt impossible suddenly clicked with perfect clarity. But a mysterious childlike voice taunted her, mocking her denial of makeup and dance costumes, hinting that power lay in self-acceptance. Before Lily could argue, a dark force expelled her from the chamber. She awoke beneath the Millennium Cherry Blossom Tree, refreshed yet unsettled, her body noticeably stronger. Testing herself at the dojo's/force sensor, Lily casually hit 203 can with pure physical strength. When she unleashed spirit power and Genji sword style, the sensor literally exploded. The report revealed her slashing force exceeded 5,000 can, propelling her into Swordmaster tier. Shocked, Lily realized this was more than muscle. It was her life essence itself being enhanced. Grasping the mirror, she understood its terrifying value. A space where souls could comprehend sword arts like flipping through books, doubling her strength upon exit. Yet she also saw the danger. If such a secret spread, countless beings would hunt her and her senior sister's soul trapped inside. But questions gnawed at her. Why were only low-tier monsters after her? Why was the demon hound uninterested, despite knowing her as a mirror girl? That contradiction left her uneasy. Under the darkening night sky, Lily clutched her blade, her kimono swaying with the wind, determined yet troubled. The Haiyan world was vast, mysterious, and dangerous, but her path was clear. Find a way to awaken senior sister, no matter what secrets she must uncover.